Welcome, welcome once again to Words Have Power with Teresa Hawley-Howard. I'm so excited to bring you another woman who is going to inspire, encourage, uplift, and really just light a fire under you. Today, we're going to talk about opportunities for women in entrepreneurship. This is the way to go. That way, only you set the limits. Welcome to the show and tell us all about yourself.
Well, first of all, my name is Shon Allen. I am a resident of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I am a single mom and author, best-selling author, and I want to give kudos to Miss Teresa for that, helping me with that endeavor. It has been a dream of mine to become an author, and you know that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and that is exactly what happened with our connection. And also, I'm a disability advocate here, not only in Oklahoma, but around the world. I advocate for parents with children with disabilities, and home-based business owner, and I just recently received a Humanitarian of the Year award from Oklahoma County Democrats. So I'm a little busy, but that's just a little bit about me.
That's so great. I know that a lot of people didn't know that part about being an advocate for families with disabilities, with children with disabilities. I have a grandson who has cerebral palsy. So it's sometimes a hard, lonely road when they're in that journey. And so it's great to have people that you can reach out to who know the ins and outs and the things that you can do and what you're entitled to as a family. You know, a lot of times we don't realize there's services out there.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, Teresa, the way I came upon writing my story and becoming an advocate was because I needed an advocate, okay? I mean, my son, he is now 28 years old. He's awesome. He is a business owner as well, here, a community leader here in Oklahoma. However, 28 years ago, I had a normal pregnancy. I went to the doctor, you know, every 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, whenever they say go. A Lamaze class, the nursery, the everything, the ultrasounds look perfect. And then on that day, I gave birth to a child that now I know is TAR syndrome. It is where his arms are actually shorter than others. But other than that, you know, he was well. However, you're right. It is a lonely road. You know, I wasn't used to bullying. You know, I had to reach out for the schools. You know, I had to make relationships with principals, with teachers and everything, just to stop the bullying. You know, we would go places and I mean, grown adults would just stare. It was just so disheartening. And however, I do find myself being really a tough cookie, okay? I really can take a lot, but I found myself during that period crying under the pillows at night because I didn't want my son to hear me cry, because I would just continue pumping him up, let him know he is worthy, he is amazing, he's a child of God, you know, and there's a purpose for him in his life. But I needed something, right? I needed somebody to kind of cuddle me and hug me. So I started reaching out, and unfortunately, Teresa, my reach out led me to where I am right now, because I didn't get it. Right? I found the syndrome that my child has. I Googled it. I looked for other parents like that. I was able to even get phone numbers, right? And I would call the parents and speak to these mothers, and they were, one, embarrassed of their children. They were telling me they didn't take their kids outside. They were, oh, well, me. I mean, you know, it was just, I wasn't prepared for that. I thought I was gonna, you know, we were gonna be cheerleaders together and let's raise these kids. But that is not what I got. So I had to be that one for them. Right. Not only for me, but for them too. So that is what led me. So reaching out to those few parents got me in the network, right? And then everybody would just like email me or call me. And then not only for the syndrome that my child had, I was getting letters and phone calls and inboxes and messages from parents with children with a little bit of everything, right? Because it really doesn't matter about the disability. What matters is about taking care of the core of the child, you know? And so that is what led me to telling my story and to be an advocate for parents with children with disabilities, because like you said, it is a lonely road.
Mhm.
It is very unfortunate that the world looks at like the children, you know, any different. That's sad
Right.
itself. So that's
And
why
it
I
starts
got
with,
into advocacy. Huh?
and it starts with the parents because, we say, oh, those children act like that. My grandson has cerebral palsy, and he is, in his 20s now. But I found that when the children were bullying or making fun of, or, at his
Mhm,
expense,
mhm,
I found that when I went to their
mhm.
parents thinking, you're going to correct your child, and I found that no, they were just as bad as those children were. And so for me,
Exactly.
it was an education. And that's one of the reasons that entrepreneurship worked so well for me as I got older, because I have 14 grandkids and I wanted
Okay.
to be that person who could be there, who went to the school
Right.
things, who went to those things. And a job doesn't
Right.
always afford a woman those opportunities. I got to ask somebody else, can I be off for the Christmas play? My baby got the first,
Right.
she got the star in row. She's the first star, number one. She gonna have a whole line.
Exactly.
I want to be there with the
Mhm.
video camera and my camera and see it in person. I don't want to have to see it afterwards or hear about it. And so for me, that's
Right.
why entrepreneurship works so well, because I got to call the shots and I got to say how much I could make. That's a big deal.
That's
I don't want you telling me that I'm worth $10.53 an hour. I
absolutely,
want to decide
because
what
you
my
know
income is
what
going to
value
be.
to that. That's right. You know your value. Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your journey in entrepreneurship. Where did you start?
Well, that's funny because my story is just like yours. I was being a single mom, although my son's child father is definitely in his life to this very was always in his life. I have a great support system as far as family, but having a child with a disability, you never know when you have to go take off and go to the doctor. You never know when the next surgery is going to be. You never know how long recovery was going to be.
Mhm.
You never know if bullying is going on at school and your son is calling you, can you come pick me up? You never know, anything like that. And having a full-time job, girl, I was getting fired all the time. I was like, but it wasn't of any foolishness, okay? It wasn't any foolishness. It was just the fact that my son came first.
Yeah.
He came first. And unfortunately, I wasn't going to allow him. Like if he would call and be like, "Mom, I'm just out and having a good day at school today," I didn't have it in my heart to say, "Well, you stay there." And I'm like, "No, sir, Mom's on her way." Okay, so that is what I might not have a job the next day, and that has happened. However, that is why I got into entrepreneurship, knowing, and I was introduced to it, I would say about 15 years ago. 15, yeah, almost 20. My son is 28, so I would say maybe 15, 20 years ago. And just out of nowhere, a good friend of mine came to me, and my first home based business was a company called Prepaid Legal. Loved that. The service was awesome. However, the personal development that I got, just coming right out the gate, learning about how you can earn an extra income at home with little or no upfront money, no brick and mortar, no electric bills or extra, you know. And I could literally, when I got home from work or work my business and earn a paycheck too. So that prepaid legal that was 15 years ago. That was my first business, and I have just been on that grind ever since that. Um, I I've had major success, and then I've had some downfalls. That's just the game of business. But the fact and of the matter is the peace of mind that you have knowing that when they tell you you can't go to take your son or daughter, grandchild to the doctor's office, when you put in your time, months ahead of time to get approved to take off a couple of days, and they deny it. But when you have that plan B, I actually call it a plan A. When you have that plan B where you're at home and you know that you can work your business from home and earn that check, they could tell me no all the time. I wasn't even caring, and it got to the point where sometimes you have to go in late, just being a single mom, but just having that reassurance and that comfort. I don't care if you was earning $50 a week, $100 a week, or $500 a month. Just knowing that you have some type of cushion when you have to take off. Absolutely. So I've been on that entrepreneur grind for that amount of time. And it's still, and right now, um, I have had to move back in with my parents to take care of my parents. That's something that our parents get older. But you know
Yeah,
what? I
we
did
don't
not even,
anticipate that.
we don't, right, we don't anticipate that.
I know
But there we go, Teresa.
when I got divorced, I moved back home with my mom and my stepdad. And that was when I
Right.
decided I was going to be an entrepreneur. My mom kept telling me, well,
That
but I decided because my
okay.
stepdad was already retired. And I'd always had a side hustle. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'd always had a side hustle.
Right.
That's just who I was. I never
That,
was. One job was never enough
that,
to cover our bills. And I'd always had that side hustle
mhm.
so that if I got mad and walked off that job, because that happened more than once. I had a child that had,
Right.
she had a lot of health problems. She has an iron deficiency problem. So she spent a lot of time at the hospital, a lot of time at doctor's offices. So I always had that cushion. But I decided I was going to go
Right.
full in when I moved back home with my parents because my stepdad was already retired, and he wasn't retired because he wanted to be retired. He was retired because he had a heart condition. And so he
Okay.
go to the doctors, he had to go to places, and my sisters both work full time. And one sister lives out of state, and the other one works full time at her job. She's a GM. So she can't take off.
Hmm.
It's not happening.
Right.
People don't come in, she has to come in. She is the backup plan for them.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
I took care of him, and I thought, I can do this. I'm going to do something side. So I started out small, I got a little job or I invested in a little business, and then I decided I was going to write. And so the publishing company was born. But then my mom would keep saying these things like, oh, you need to get, it's not job security. It's not job security, because my mom's always worked for someone. And so
Hmm.
then my mom's back went out, and my mom could no longer
Okay.
work her job for that person she had worked for 25 years. But guess what? They were really quick to replace her, even though she had
Quick.
been there 25 years. And guess what? They replaced her with somebody who took less money than what she was making,
Yes.
because they hadn't been there
Right.
25 years.
Right.
And
Right.
as I was able to take care of my mom, by then I was remarried, but I was able to take care of my mom because all I do is bring this laptop and my phone. I could work from
That's
anywhere.
right.
And my
That's
mom was
right.
like, let's talk about this entrepreneur stuff. What are you doing? So that
Mm.
works for herself. But, because at 60,
Mm.
she can't, she's in her 60s, she can't quite live on Social Security. So it's just enough
Exactly.
for her to get some extra income, get out of the house a couple of days a week, and do, because she does shows and stuff. Well, not now that we're at COVID-19, but she did do shows and stuff. But, it was kind of funny when she flipped that switch, because for years she would be like, you're never going to be able to retire. You're not going to have. And I was like, I'm not going to have to retire. I'm going to pay everything off. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to make money from,
Right.
I'm going to take care of stuff. And she was like, oh, that's never going to work. And then when they replaced her, she was like, I never liked that job anyway. I like my days off, but she flipped so fast. And I think for a lot of women,
Right.
we just never consider it. We never consider
Just
that we got the gumption and we got everything we need right inside of us. Now we're going to do is take the leap. Find that thing that you're
that's
passionate
all.
about, that thing that means something to you, because if you don't travel, you don't want to be in the travel business. If you don't wear makeup, please don't try to sell Mary Kay. But, whatever it is you're passionate about, there's a place for you in the entrepreneurial world. There's a place that you fit perfectly in.
That's so true. That's true. And unfortunately, somewhere along the line, the word got out that what we do entrepreneurship, what I do particularly is network marketing, is like some pyramid or a scam. And what people don't understand is your job actually is the biggest pyramid, you know,
I
that you
know
can be a
that's
part
right.
of, because you work, okay, you have a boss, you have a supervisor, you have all of that, and then you're an employee. But unfortunately, when you flip that over here with network marketing, it's like everybody is on an even plan. Your income is based upon your drive, your will, your discipline, you know, what you want to put into and it will be successful. And that's one thing that I get almost all day, every day is, oh, well, Shauna, you know, I know you're doing good. That's all great. But I just think that's a scam. You know, I just think that, but what is a scam is you're going to work, you're clocking in somewhere where you don't want to be, you're angry in the morning, you're working for, what is it, like 30, 40, 50 years, however long it is, and you're
Forever.
miserable. I think that's the biggest scam that was created. And
Yeah,
like you said, I give,
you don't get to
we give,
decide what you make.
don't, right, you don't get, they
They tell
price
you
it
what you're
at,
worth, and they get it wrong
yes,
all the time.
all the time, all the time. And so why not with entrepreneurship, just, you know, your value, right? You know
Mhm.
what God gave you inside, just go ahead and take the leap.
Mhm.
Just, but people are unfortunately, you know, afraid of taking that leap. But it is a great alternative. I mean, it is a great, I won't even say
Great
it's an
lifestyle.
alternative. It really right, exactly.
I'm in
So yeah,
California
you
right
never know.
now at my daughter's home, at her second home.
Right,
I'm staying
right,
in these mountains,
right.
working my business with this beautiful view
Working your business.
outside, covered in mine. But if I worked at Walmart, guess what? I'd have to clock in somewhere. I mean, I'm not telling you
Clock
I don't
in.
put the hours in, that I don't work hard, but I work hard on my terms
Right,
when it's convenient for me.
right.
My grandkids come, it's a
Exactly.
holiday. I schedule around when they're going to come visit. So I do all my content, all of my things that need to get done are done on the days that they're not here. When they come, it's fun. Bake in, have fun with me time, cooking out on the grill, hanging out, being a part of their lives, because guess what? They're going to grow up and those moments are lost. And I speak from
Right.
experience because I missed every single
Me too.
one of them when my girls were little. Every single.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my youngest
Mm-hmm.
graduated kindergarten, I went at my lunch break to watch her deal. And the whole time I was watching that clock to make sure that I would get back to my job instead of watching my baby on that stage at that moment. You know, and that's not how you're supposed to live life. That's not what God had
That
planned
is
for you.
not, that's
That is not how it's supposed
right.
to be.
It is not. That's a form of, you know, bondage. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of bondage.
Yep.
You know, you're looking at the clock, trying to get back, you know, and you're like, am I going to get fired? Am I going to get written up? But, you know, yet and still, right, the quality, you still have to provide a great quality of life for your children, but your employer does not care about that.
And they will
Could give
replace
a
you
rat quick.
quick. I remember when I worked at Russell Stover's and I was good at my job. I did the shipping and receiving
Yes,
and I was good. I mean, because I've always been, I'm going to give you 110%. And I had this boss. We don't
yes,
name him, but he knows who he is.
yes.
He was not good at his job. And so I did all of his reports every month for a long time. We're talking like years. And so a spot came open on the management team. So I applied for it. I was overqualified. I had a college education and I had been doing those reports
Right,
for years. And he called me in his
right.
office and he's like, I'd love to recommend you for that job, but then who would do my reports? So you know
Wow.
that you are meant to move up, but somebody is always holding you back. And you won't have that problem in entrepreneurship because the only thing that's going to hold you
Mm,
back is you. You're the only one place the limits on
yourself.
you because that
That
network
is
marketing is not going
right.
to place limits on you. Having your own job, doing your own gifts and talents is not going to place limits on you. So just decide what you're good at and take the leap. Even if you take the leap scared, Even if you take the leap, well, you still got your 9 to 5. Quit treating it like a side hustle
Right.
and put the work into it. I remember when I
Right.
worked Mary Kay as a side hustle, and I'm gonna tell you it was a side hustle because I don't wear a lot of makeup. But I worked at a truck stop.
Mm-hmm.
I was the manager, and these truckers
Okay.
never remembered birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, nothing. And they'd always come into our truck stop and they'd be like, "Oh, I have to try to get something for my wife." So I thought, I was already buying Mary Kay because I had teenage daughters. So I signed up just to get the discount because them girls loved makeup. So I had to buy enough for them just on wholesale. So I thought, I'm going to make up some
Right.
gift baskets. I made Star Consultant for 2 years in a row, every single quarter. Unconventionally selling Mary Kay to truck drivers in gift baskets with a card for their wife. Their wives was like, "Oh, he thought about me." No, this was sitting in my truck stop. I thought about you. But I found a need and I filled it and I made a profit doing
That's
it.
right. That's right.
And that's what
That's
entrepreneurship
right.
is about. You find that niche that you fit in, that spot that you can fill, that need you can fill,
Mm-hmm.
that place where your
Mm-hmm.
gift belongs. Because it's the same thing in what I do now. I publish, I help you share your story. I found a need, I help you get your voice heard. I found a need
That's right.
and I learned to fill it and market it.
Mm-hmm.
No different,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what company you choose, no matter what business you choose, it's the same thing. You find the place where you fit in, where your passion and your purpose belongs, and then you run with it.
And run with it. It's important when you have that idea and those thoughts and that gut feeling, that it's just not coming out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Those are your higher powers kind of inclinations, like, okay, you know, go ahead. I'm giving you ideas, and I'm giving you because I know that is what I gave you. That's your gift. Now I'm giving you
Right.
the ideas to move forward. So many people get those ideas, but it is so important to do not sit on them, not ponder, not start, well, I don't think so. I can't. What will they think about me? When those ideas and everything come into your mind, it is so important to act on it. Even if you don't act physically, if you grab a piece of paper somewhere and write that down,
Right.
write it down, make it plain, and it will give you the desires of your heart. Even if you just start writing it down, and then out of nowhere, there will be the next vehicle for you to take it to the next move, then the next, then the next. But if you don't act on that, if you don't act on that thought about starting your own business, you'll never, nothing would ever happen. And then you're going to live your life thinking, what if? And that is no way to live. And I just encourage all women and men, children, okay? Even
Right.
children, ideas that children have, right?
Right.
We as parents feel like, oh, I have the blueprint for my child. He's going to be this, that, and the third, and that. But no, encourage parents to pay attention to your child's gift. Whatever your child likes to do, have fun and do it. Spend the most time doing it, is really creative and do it. Don't dismantle the fire that your child has.
Squash it.
You water it. Yes, you push it. Okay, well, let me go get him some art supplies. Let me go. Yes, because that is the gift that will earn, the money as they get older. So that's right. Just
You got to kindle that fire in them.
entrepreneurship. That's right. And children and adults.
And
But I guess
that's so great about our shows and being able to speak out is that we can speak into someone else's life, and maybe they're just on the fence and they see our show, they
that's
listen to our voice, or they watch us on Facebook and see our lives. I know I love your Facebook, but because you're always so
right.
inspirational. So as we speak into them, for us it might be just another post or just another. We don't know who is going to strike and who is going to really be the tipping point for. So we got to speak life. We got to speak about our passion. We got to tell them, go for your dream. Who's going to tell you your dream is crazy? The person not living theirs. That's who's going to tell you it's crazy.
Right. The person not living theirs. That is so true. And talking about speaking life, when I was the desire to write, it was just on me, like starting like every day now, because I've always been a writer. I have diaries and journal from like I was 6 years old, 5 years old, the cute with the little key,
I
locks.
know.
Like I have gazillions of those everywhere. I'm always, there's something always where I'm always
Yeah.
write my thoughts down. Yeah. And I've lost my train of thought, but just what I was saying, just that what you know your niche, right? When I wanted to write, I had been writing, and then I just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then as Facebook friends, okay, here's Miss Teresa with her great graphics and your kind, warm heart where you want to. I was like drawn into you. You know what I'm saying? I was just drawn into, there's some kind of warm, fuzzy love, like I got you, about yourself. And that's what I
Right.
got from your page and your post. And I was like, you know what? Okay. She looking for people that want to write a story and tell their story. Okay, Shauna, you tell your story. So going back to saying where we about entrepreneurship, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't sit on it. Just go for it, and don't expect miracles at first, You're
Expect it
going
to
to
be
have to
hard
walk
work.
a little bit.
Everybody got,
Absolutely.
my granny used to say, you don't
And,
work, you
and
don't eat. So, I mean,
yes, and the hard work is nothing but learning what you learn. Let me turn the light back on.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
all the
hard
hard
work is,
work, you learn
it
from
is
it.
hard work, but it's work for you. So either you're going to work to build
Yes,
somebody else's dream, or you work hard and build your own. I know my sister is the GM and she does a great job and she likes her job. But she told me, oh, when I
right.
retire, I'm going to get this little pension check. I was like, yeah, well, you've never been anywhere. When I retire, I'm going to get to talk
Right.
about all the places I've been, all the things I did, all the people I helped, and so everybody has their dream. If your dream is to retire with somebody else's, because let me tell you, she making, where she works, she making them millions. You can get it your way.
Yes,
She making them
yes,
millions. So
yes.
you need to decide just what does your dream look like. My dream looks like my place is paid for. My husband and I can travel. We got grandkids all over the place. We can go see them when we want to. That's what my dream looked like. So that's what I
That's it.
incorporated into my business. Just to ask
That's
yourself
it.
some simple questions. What's my passion? What I love doing?
Yes.
What am I good at?
Hmm.
And what does my dream look like? And when you answer those questions,
Absolutely.
you'll have the formings of the beginning of your entrepreneurship. And then just go
Absolutely.
for it. Stop waiting. You're not getting
Just
any
go
younger.
for
I mean,
it. Right. And just
don't do like I did.
for it.
Don't start at 40. Trust me, I wish I'd started at 20. You know,
Don't do like I did. Yeah, exactly. I wish I had of, really, really owned it and believed in
and
myself.
then
And I
go.
will say this for people that, maybe watching and listening and, just don't have the belief in themselves, because over time, life will suck the belief out of you. Life
Yeah,
will
we'll
do
knock it
that.
right out to the ground. I mean,
It will knock you so far off the way. But
but you
if
just
you
gotta get
could
back
just,
up. I mean, it's as simple as
you
that.
just gotta get back up and know that, hey, if you don't know anything else, know that Shon and Teresa believes in you. It was
If you
times when
can't
I didn't
believe in
believe in myself.
yourself, come alongside us. We'll believe in you for you until you.
Absolutely, absolutely. You just grab a hold to our belief for you until you get your belief back. Okay,
Yeah. Tell them,
absolutely.
tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you.
Okay. Well, for one, if you go to my Facebook page, it is just Shon Allen. That's ShonAllen. Also, I have a Instagram. I am Shon CBD CEO, and that's SHON. And you'll find a lot of good stuff on there, posts, testimonies about CBD entrepreneurship, and also on Facebook at Shon's world famous CBD. You
That's
can
my
go
favorite
there
too.
and find me there well. Yes.
That is
So
my favorite page. Y'all need to
that
go there just for the inspiration, because that is my favorite.
yeah.
That is my favorite one. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank
show and giving us a great
you.
interview and for inspiring us to
Yes,
take the leap to entrepreneurship.
absolutely. And Miss Teresa, you keep doing what you do. You are inspiring women and men all across the country, the world. And thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
inviting me.
much. Thank y'all for listening to
Thank
Words
you.
Have Power with Teresa Hawley-Howard. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And as always, remember our words have power. Let's use them to change the world together.